So I've stayed in a few dodgy hotels in my time, and on a number of occasions it's looked like the force required to open the door is nothing more than the gust from a sparrow's fart, or indeed to pick the lock with a piece of wet string. So what do you do when a family member says to you they're going to go travelling, especially given the recent news where some hotel chains seem to give out card keys to anybody? Well, I'm sure we've all heard of the trick of jamming a chair underneath the door handle. But what happens if your chair isn't tall enough, or indeed if there's no chair in the room? So another option is to stick a door wedge underneath the door, and sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't, especially if there's a hard, shiny floor surface. So after looking at various options on Amazon, this is what I ended up going with: the DoorJammer. So what is it? Well, let's get it open. So inside we've got a little black carrier bag. Let's get that open. And it's a adjustable metal frame, hinged, with a foot on it. We'll show how to install it in a moment, but what did I like about this? Well, I thought it was looked robust. I had a little bit of concern about maybe it was big and bulky, but actually, just to give you an example, that's in the palm of my hand. The device itself weighs about 200 grams, so it's not massively heavy. There are a few accessories, and when you include those and the bag, it comes up to an all-up weight of about 250 grams. So not huge, certainly could fit into a rucksack or a suitcase. As I say, it's made from metal, adjustable foot. It's got some material on the foot there. One presumes it's like a rough material. That's to grab the underside of the door. And then there's a softer sponge type material, one assumes, to stop it marking the paint on the door. But I'm not sure if anybody worries about that in a hotel. All right, let's get it fitted and see how well it works. So the principle is it forces the door upwards into the frame, thus preventing it from being opened. You need to align it underneath where the door handle is and not over towards the hinge side. So we get the foot underneath, make sure the little chrome foot is also sat flat on the floor surface, and then we just start to turn this handle, which will force the foot down into, in this case, the carpet or onto a hard surface. And at some point you'll start to feel a resistance. So you keep turning. It's easy to turn, it's not difficult. So at some point it will start to get quite stiff. So that feels very stiff at the moment, so I'm going to try that. I'm pulling quite hard now on the door handle and it's not shifting. So that's pretty good, I think. Right, I'm on the other side of the door now and pushing. I've got all of my body weight behind it. Now clearly the top of the door, you can see there's a slight opening, but it is not moving at all. So what are the couple of accessories for? Well, the first one, which is a small foot, is for dealing with a very large gap under the door. So rather than turning the chrome foot onto the surface directly, you put this little foot underneath it, and that gives you a little bit more depth or height. The other set of accessories are small soft plastic wedges, and they're intended to take up any gap at the top here. So you would, before tightening the foot up, you would put one of these in and it will take up the gap at the top. Now I don't need it on this door, it seems to be working perfectly fine, but on a poorly fitted door with large gaps top and bottom, then both these accessories will probably be a good idea. So one of the concerns of using a device like this is what happens if you need to get out of the room very quickly, say there's a fire, God forbid. Well, actually it's quite easy to remove. You just grab hold of the bracket here, and with a sort of like a pull at the bottom, it just comes straight off. So that's the DoorJammer. I paid $24.99 on Amazon. I'm pretty pleased with it. It looks robust, easy to use. Those are the main things. Now, can I guarantee that it will keep out the most determined attacker on the other side of the door? No, I can't, but it seems to work pretty well from what I can see. So it's certainly worth considering if you're in the market for something like this. Okay, I think I'll call this one done. Thanks very much for watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you. If not, why not? Please do subscribe. It helps me a lot. Also, if you found it useful, give me a thumbs up, a like. It really does help me get the videos to a wider audience. And for now, I'll say goodbye and hope to see you on the next one. Cheers.